So, Andy, as it turns out, it's almost as if living inside of Trump's America is just like legit playing Russian roulette. Just putting bullets in and trying to figure out like what is going to get us, right? Are you going to face economic ruin first? Are you going to, face like an absolute virus? Like what is it? What's going to get you in Trump's America? And right now, I'm putting my money on everything that has to do with our health and well-being. Because, well, we have a man that has a worm inside of his head that doesn't believe in vaccines, that isn't a doctor, that has no medical degree whatsoever, telling 330 million Americans what they should be doing with their health. Most recently, RFK Jr. has said that the U.S. will, according to the New York Times, no longer recommend COVID shots for children and pregnant women. Of course, we knew that this was coming, given all of the conspiracy theories that he has said about COVID and the vaccines and reading your DNA and what is the government doing, et cetera, while, the Biden administration was rolling out shots in arms to save people's lives. 500,000 of which died under Donald Trump's administration because he told them to, liberate themselves, don't wear masks, and shoot bleach into their arms. The fact is, I believe that the American people are going to have to take their health and the health of themselves and their children into their own hands because America is no longer safe, right? We have an HHS director, we have an FDA leader who is in almost ensuring that Americans will suffer some type of outbreak, whether that's measles, which they still haven't gotten under control, whether it's a new COVID virus, which I just saw recently that there is one that is circulating. And then now it's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to take RFK Jr., no doctor included in this package, his word for it, or your own general practitioner, or just your gut over this man. But right now, I feel probably the most unsafe that I've ever felt health-wise in this country, and that's saying a lot given where our health is rated in comparison to the rest of the world.
Yeah, and Kennedy keeps going out there and saying things that simply aren't true. About a month ago, according to the New York Times, he went on Fox News and said that most kids don't have a risk of from COVID unless they have very profound morbidities, and then they might have a slight risk. And as the New York Times points out, that CDC data from July 2023 to March 2024 found that half of children who were hospitalized because of COVID had no underlying medical conditions. So he's straight up lying there. It goes on and on and on. He has made the comment that not a single healthy kid has died from COVID. That's absolutely not true. 32% of children who died of COVID did not have another medical condition, according to a review of data that looked at 2020 to 2022. They also want to get rid of the COVID vaccination for pregnant women. This is really bad. Pregnant women are at a much higher risk of getting a severe form of COVID if they get COVID. And if they get vaccinated, it lowers the risk that their the child that they bear will be hospitalized from COVID. So all of this is just, we've been saying for a while now. We keep saying it. They want us to die,
Mhm.
and this is just, every time we talk about one of these things, I just keep coming back to that. Like they legitimately want slash don't care if people die. And so this is just it's just more of the same. It's like every day there's another example of it.
Because I think that the reality is that they want us to be sick and undereducated, right? Like that is what makes you easy to control, right? Is that when you are in your most downtrodden space and place, then you're easy to take advantage of. And that's what they are setting up here. So whether it is this right now, there's more, right? Like we how many so we when Donald Trump comes into office, we have a major bird flu crisis, right? Where the price of eggs, as everybody knows, goes through the roof, where you're looking at 10, 12, and sometimes in the teens, depending on what area of the country that you're in and the price gouging that is happening for a carton of eggs. And come to find out that this administration, even given what they came into office seeing, has canceled more than $700 million of funding for Moderna's bird flu vaccine. Make it make fucking sense, right? Like, bird flu is not something that we were making up in our heads. It was happening, and people were killing entire flocks of birds and ducks and et cetera to, like, to save, right, the rest of us. We've lost FDA inspectors, so we don't even know if what we are getting on our shelves anymore that we can guarantee is safe. And then you have a pharmaceutical company who is like, let us do some research and put out onto the market a potential vaccine for what is now becoming what seems like a recurring crisis in America around bird flu. And this government says, nah, we'd rather pocket the money.
Yeah, it's just it is absolutely wild, and it always makes me think. The COVID vaccines were a goddamn miracle. Like, I don't even know how else to describe them. I mean, for those of us who remember what
Mm-hmm.
it was like when COVID first hit and there was no vaccine, and the images that we saw of the body bags
Mm.
and the people that we knew who died and who died alone because no one could be with them, and just the overall sense of fear, of legitimate fear that people had. And then we get these vaccines. It was literally the one good thing Donald Trump did while he was in office was to fast track those,
Mm-hmm.
to help fast track those vaccines. And they were a damn, I don't know what other word to use other than miracle. Like, they were a complete world changer. And it started not long after that. We saw the sort of the rise of the conspiracy theories about the
Yep.
vaccines, and in particular the fact that they were, these mRNA vaccines, which people, there are people out there who I guess believe that it is legitimately changing their DNA and things like that. So this bird flu vaccine was also, a Moderna, an mRNA thing. And I think that these people, the RFK juniors of the world, and all the MAGA people and all the Maha people are just absolutely terrified of these mRNA vaccines, and legitimately think and legitimately believe that they are like a tool of the devil. And I don't even mean that in like a metaphorical sense. I think a lot of them really believe that this absolute miracle that we were granted, that if I were a religious person, I would be, giving thanks to God for these vaccines every damn day. But instead, they look at this miracle, this life-saving miracle, and they say this is a tool of the devil. And so I think that's what we're getting more of here. That point of view is now US health policy.
I can think of who is a tool of the devil, but that's a topic for another day.